Okay, we're back. Now, on this one, I want to go through the toolbar up here and the options, because we've already covered adding a calendar event, okay, and adding a task. Okay, add tasks. The rest of these down through here, this group, is for showing stuff. We covered before class status. You can open that up from there. You can also open that same form from here, view edit classes. The only difference is now the selected class is not selected here. Right now we've got the history class selected on the main form here. If we open this, that'll be selected for us here. We can just go into edit mode. Okay, but doing it from here, it'll show all classes for the selected semester. And again, there is only one, but you can just select it and it'll bring it back to the same spot. And also, because we put some scores in for this class, you'll notice now this is updating. This will show our status here. Okay, so if we were done with the semester, we could just make this pass, and these will be copied over for us. Then when we save it, whoops, I did that wrong. Pass, save. Yeah, okay, it saved it. Now our status is pass. We got our final grade and final score and everything down here. Okay, so, and you can go backwards too. You make it back to active, save it. Now it's just back to active again. Okay, so that's how you do that at the end of the semester. That's how you close out your classes. You just when the semester's over with, you can just come in here and go down the list of classes and update them. Okay. All right. Now, this one is view edit assignments. We've only got one assignment entered, so that's all that we're seeing here. Ordinarily, during a semester, you're going to have 3 or 4 classes going at the same time. We've only got the one class right now, but if you've got several classes going with several assignments down here for each one, you can come up here to your view edit assignments, and you can see them all in one place. Okay, and you can sort this by due date or by the class name. And if you go by due date, you'll be able to see what's due next, the status of it, and it's just a way to see all the assignments in one place, just to make it easier for you to see what's going on overall for the semester. Textbooks, it's the same thing. We've only put in one textbook, but from this form you'll see every textbook entered for every class. And again, when you put in a textbook, you don't have to assign it to a class. You can just leave this empty. If you just want to build up a library, like a list of all your books and everything, okay, you can leave that empty. And then all the books that you have saved will be here in one place again. Okay. And this is the same thing for calendar events. This is where you enter a calendar event. And down here, you can view all the events you put in one place. And you can view just the recurring or just the non-recurring or all of them. And again, from in here, you can, if you want to edit something, you can select it, you can enter it, you can delete it from here. Okay, I'm going to say no, we don't want to delete that. Or you can just double click on it. It'll open it for editing. Study time. It'll open the study time form for editing. Okay. So again, this is just where you can see all the events you put in one place. Okay. And the same thing for tasks. Down here is where we entered a task. And right here, we can see all of our tasks. You can sort them by deadline or priority. It works the same way. You can double click to edit it, or edit from here, or delete it. Okay, so it's mainly what these are for. It's just just a way of viewing things all together in one place. Now, as you recall, we were entering some of these events and things, we put in reminders for them. This is all the reminders that we have entered. Like this appointment here. We can come back to that event. This is the reminder. We had it set for the 21st at 6 p.m. And again, the reminders, 21st at 6 p.m. And the next event date time. If it's a recurring event, it'll show you the next recurrence for the event date time. And this will update automatically. As this date passes, this will automatically update to the next recurrence. Then it'll also tell you how long you've got until this date. This same form will be used when the program's running. Every minute it checks to look for any reminders that are due, and when it finds one, you'll have a pop-up come up. It'll say you've got a reminder due, and you click OK, and then this same form will open. Only under those circumstances, it will only show the reminders that it wants to tell you about, the ones that have come due, what it's actually reminding you of. When you open it manually from here, it'll show all of the stored reminders. And in either case, when you select a reminder up here, you've got these defaults down here, and we'll get into in a minute how you can set those. You can set a default reminder reset, whatever you use most often. Because right now we got just to remind me again in 1 hour, and that way you can just hit the reset reminder button without having to change anything. Whatever you use most often, you can put in here, and when a reminder comes up, oh, okay, yeah, right, and then just hit reset reminder. So you got these, and then there's also the date and time down here. When you change something here, it automatically updates these. So right now the next reset will be on the 18th at 4:59, because that's when this thing was opened, or when I selected this. It was a minute ago. So whenever you update here, it'll automatically change down here. So when you click on reset reminder, whatever is here, that will be reset up here. So you can use these, or you can just enter directly over here. And we say we want to change this to 7 o'clock. We say reset. So now it's been updated the 18th at 7 o'clock. So you can open this form at any time and see when the next reminders are coming up and reset them. And again, when this form opens automatically to show you a reminder, you reset it in the same way. Okay, so that's how that works. And again, from here, you can double click and open up the event, and you can also change the reminder from here too. We want to change this back now to 6 o'clock. Change it here, resave it. Now back here, it's back at 6 o'clock again. Okay, and same thing. When a reminder comes up, you can view the item. You can delete the reminder or reset it. Okay, so that's how that form works. Okay. Okay, the scratch pad and the search notes, I'm gonna come back to those. I just want to go over the options right now. Kind of touched on this before. First of all, for those reminders, that default reset, this is where you can set that. Okay, whatever you put in here, that's what will come up as the default when you're resetting your reminders. You can pick which section of the main form opens when you first start the program. If the calendar is what you use most often, you can pick that, and then when the program starts, it'll load up the calendar first. Color schemes, there's several different ones in there you can pick from. How many days in advance for the due date to be changed to red? That is for the assignments. Let's come down here. This assignment here, this was set to 3 days. Okay. You take this assignment and I'll change the due date to say the 20th. That's 2 days from now. And you see now the due date's red. And that's again just to help you visualize you've got an assignment coming due. That way things can't sneak up on you. Okay, so that's what that is. You can set that lead time here. And again, you got the grid highlight color. You can set light and dark. And I forgot to mention before, when you change this, it won't change immediately on the main form. You've got to reload it, restarting the program, or just reloading the grid. You can you have the option of having the program check the reminders, or having the reminders check even when the main program's not running. There's another like sub-program that's installed with Student Organizer that will run in the background, and it will check the reminders all the time, even when this is not running. So that way you don't have to open the program to check your reminders. But that's an option. Check for automatic or check for updates automatically each time the program starts. That's an option you can turn on. Okay, and then those are the general options. And under the lectures, this is for the lecture notes here. When you're recording a lecture, you can set flags, like at 18 minutes and 42 seconds in. If the lecturer says, this is on the test, you're going to want to know this, you can pick the on test flag and set it there. And then later on, when you're listening to the recording, you can jump right to that spot. Also think of it like a little bookmark you can put in there. These settings here are for the recorder, the audio recorder. Most of these defaults you can just leave. If you're a real geek, you might want to play with them. For the most part, the default settings should work okay for you, but you can adjust them here if you want to. And you can set a password for the program, and this works just about like probably every other password setup you've used. You can put in a password, and you have to put it in again. And whenever you change the password, you've got to click apply. Okay, a password's been set. Now if I close and reopen the program, it'll prompt me for the password. Now you've got these options show up for change and clear. Now you want to change it, you got to type the current one and then type the new one twice. Okay, it's been changed. And the same thing to clear a password. You just have to type the current one, apply, and you're no longer protected. We're back to where we started out. Okay, now, the database backup, when the program runs the first time, it'll create a folder in your My Documents folder called Student Organizer Backup. That's the backup folder. You can change this if you want to. And you've got options for automatic backups. You can have it automatically back up once every so many days, and it sets 7 days as the default. You can also have it back up every time you run the program. The only thing to remember is when this runs a backup, it doesn't overwrite the previous backup. It creates a new one appended with the current date and time. So if you back up too often, your backup folder can become quite large if you back up every time you run the program. So you just need to be aware of that, and you might want to go in and periodically just delete the old ones that you don't need anymore. That's why 7 day or once every 7 days or once a week is set as the default. So if people don't pay attention to this, they don't realize it's happening. It offers some protection without creating a huge backup folder that they might not realize is going on. And then you can also turn off the automatics altogether and say never, I'll do it manually. And if you do that, then you've also got the option of being reminded every so many days. Well, you'll go 3 days without backing up, then when you start the program, you'll get a message pop up saying, the database was last backed up so many days ago on such and such date. Okay, so those are your options there. That pretty much covers the options. Okay, this one's gotten long enough. I think next I want to get into these notes, the 3 notes up here. We'll talk about that next. Okay, so that's it for this time. See you.